right. Important topic I feel we should discuss. Childhood trauma. And as adults, we must take the initiative to take ourselves down the path of healing. And healing is not always going to be easy. As we know, it could cause more trauma in itself, as anxiety. And we take ourselves down dark paths. It takes a certain kind of mentality, understanding that we are going to go through sensitive times. But what I always argue is the pain of overcoming these kinds of circumstances is going to be far off, much easier to deal with than the long-term effects of not taking the initiative to heal. Now, there's many forms of trauma that we experience as young adults or children, whether it's loss of a loved one, or we may have witnessed the death of an animal, something sexual may have occurred. But the healing process is ultimately what's going to help us not necessarily be happy, because happy is a different situation in itself, but heal us exactly what it is to heal, to not have that pain. And the pain is an absence, pain of regret that we never put a step forward to the process of healing. And if we look at the majority of what we put into our minds, music, we know the culture of music is everywhere in us. We listen to it on our way to work. We listen to it as we work out for what it is. My argument always is the lyrics. Music is powerful, and we should be able to listen to music. I enjoy music every morning. But the message, the popular musicians, the pop music, the message they portray us, does it help us heal our childhood trauma, or does it intensify and make it worse? You see, we haven't even gotten started in healing. And even if we've gone to seek therapy, a lot of times, therapy may not be the answer until we work on our mindset. Are we ready to go through the healing process? There's things that you may hear today that won't make sense until 5 years from now, or later on in life. The process of therapy starts with you, and once you can come to a realization that you have to make that decision, you're not going to be able to show up to the happy hours, or you're not going to be able to watch certain television shows that indoctrinate us on a lifestyle that we should be living. The true meaning of happiness doesn't necessarily mean that you are in a good mood. Happiness is being okay with not being in a good mood. In some cases, we must be very cautious of what we put into our minds. And the music, in my opinion, is the number one source that is dragging us further from healing our trauma. Many of us experience trauma after the age of 18, whether it's military, our veterans, or marriage, whether it's turning 21 and becoming addicted to alcohol or one-night stands. There's a lot of trauma we experience. And once we experience this trauma, we're never the same. We're addicted to finding the next one-night stand. How are we going to be able to maintain healthy relationships? Or if we never took the initiative to self-improve, how are we going to be able to have relationships with not only our peers, but our coworkers and our future children? You see, the trauma that you have can be passed on to the next generation. And it's a never-ending cycle until we realize all of us are suffering from a form of childhood trauma. And as adults, we continue to really encourage the trauma and pass it on to the next generation. You see, life is a beautiful thing. And you can truly find out who you are. The small things are really going to matter. And it's not what we've been indoctrinated to be: happiness through the music, to be rich, to have sexual encounters with everyone that we see, to boast about the materialistic things that truly put us in debt, that can easily be stolen. I hope this is making sense. But what I'm really noticing, interacting with people in their 50s, 60s, those people 20 years ago were 30 and 40. In 2020, excuse me, the music that was out, which was really the starting point of degenerating mankind. You see, the rap music or the hip-hop culture encourages people to not have any kind of appearance that is presentable. And many people wonder why. Their speech impediment. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we want better for the world, we must understand that everything we do every day is either benefiting our healing process with trauma, or it's making it worse. And the problem with that is we pass it on to the next generation. And the next generation is going to pass it on to the next generation. Until we can realize that everything we are doing is pushing us further away from us healing trauma, we're never even going to start the process.